Yo, 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 it's your boy K Steg. How y'all doing? I'm joined by my guy Big Moon. What's up, dog? Oh, you're not gonna hit us with the da 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 da.
Let's see if it works. Rockstar.
It's fucking working. Looking like you at a rave show. I ain't gonna front.
Yeah.
Shit. How you doing, big guy? How you doing, big?
I'm good as I can be for shit show. It
Did you
is
ever catch up?
Tuesdays.
Did you
It's
ever catch
October
up on sleep?
29th.
September 29th.
Yesterday, yeah.
Yeah,
Just a
yesterday.
little bit, a couple hours I
Just a little.
catched up on. Yeah. But,
Shit.
before we start talking, shout out to my sister, Gina. It's your birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday, Gina. Happy
birthday
birthday.
to you. Happy birthday. All right. But yes, welcome to No Narrative Podcast, episode 22, the big 2-2.
Big 2-2.
We welcome everybody that's come and sees our episodes and are viewing our channel. If you're new to the channel, please comment, subscribe, follow, give us a like, give us a dislike if there's something you didn't like to hear. You know, so welcome to episode 22. Texans,
Episode
and
22, man.
we're talking Texans,
We
as my
we
boy
talking
likes
them
to say.
Texans, baby. We talking them Texans, H Town all the
Yes,
way. You know what
sir.
I'm saying? We're gonna start off with the bad news first. If y'all hadn't heard, Texans have officially lost Stephon Diggs for the rest of the season. He tore his ACL on the non-contact injury, or non-contact play during the Colts game. It didn't look good when we were watching it. It just looked like he tried to stop or he tried to break down and his knee buckled, which is usually what transpires whenever something like that happens. So definitely going to be tough already without Nico. Losing him for the year is definitely not going to help, even if Nico comes back. So, at the end of the day, we gotta show love to the player, gotta show love to him and his family. Prayers for him. Hopefully, hopefully he could bounce back. I'm hoping, this was a contract year for him after the trade we made. We restructured his contract, so hopefully we can maybe work something out, bring him back for another year, maybe. I liked the chemistry that he was building with CJ post Nico injury. Hopefully, if he comes back, we can really see if this offense can get flying the way that we know it can. But definitely shout out to him. Love the energy, love the leadership that he brought to the team. Love the experience he brought to the team as well. Prayers to him though, speedy recovery. As a person, I know, forget the fact that he's a player for our team. As a person, you don't want to see anybody get hurt. So it's definitely heartbreaking here in Houston, heartbreaking for his family. So prayers up for him for sure.
Yeah. Diggs, I appreciate everything you did do for these not even 8 weeks, way before then when you got signed on to the team. Speed recovery. I mean, I wish you luck on your future if it's with us or it's not. I'm trending to your not, but we'll see where that goes.
I think it's the money, but we'll cross that bridge
It's
when we
always
come
the
to it.
money.
Obviously,
It's
it's
always the
always the
money.
money, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Moving on to the game that unfortunately his injury took place in. Texans had a huge divisional game this weekend. It was basically battle of whoever wins is first place on the AFC South, more or less. That's where
Mm-hmm.
we're at. Had a game with the Indianapolis Colts, the rival Indianapolis Colts. A lot of things to unpack in this game, bro. First things first, Texans get the dub 23-20. Huge game. Little side note, you took me to my first tailgating experience. That was an experience all in itself. I learned a lot of things that have been mentioned off camera, i.e. it's 86 i.e. it's 86 degrees. Don't wear jeans and boots to an 86-degree tailgate full of barbecue pits and smokers where it's just even hotter. Y'all, it was hot and there was no breeze at all. You can ask him. I was over there. Well, we're not even going to go into that
He was
detail.
tripping. He was tripping way before the tailgate. He didn't even want to mention what happened on the Metro Rail.
Oh shit! Hell no, yo. But that was on the way there. On the way back, we got separated. On the way there, ooh, damn. Yeah, we're not going to mention what happened on the Metro. Hell no.
Why
Hell,
not?
hell nah. Oh shit. That was
Yeah.
I was just trying to be nice. Shit, that's all that was. And I was just trying to find a place to put that heavy ass cooler at. Shit.
I
Oh
mean,
damn.
I know you didn't see the lady. That's what made it so funny. It's like,
I did not see her. She popped out of fucking nowhere. And I was just like, oh shit, my bad, yo.
like, like I saw her when she came in the tray, so I knew what they were getting done for. You turn around, you
I
turn
did, and
around, you're like,
I
no,
hadn't
no, no,
turned
I'm good, I'm good.
I hadn't turned around yet, and I'm like, oh yeah, here, go ahead. Like I hadn't turned around yet. I was like, oh yeah, appreciate it, dog. Gonna set this big ass thing. Yeah, nah, that did not work the way I wanted it to. And anyway, that was definitely a moment. Ain't no lying on that one. But anyways,
Yeah.
getting past that. Texans 23-20, definitely a hard fought game. Definitely some points left on the field by both teams. Couple of you had a bad play call that resulted in a fumble when we were going in to score. Anthony Richardson overthrowing a couple of players, underthrowing a couple of players, pulling himself out of the game because he was quote unquote tired on a third down and goal play, if I'm not mistaken, or it was like 3rd and 15, and in a tight game. That I'm not gonna. You know what? That's for Colts fans and for NFL analysts to decipher. I'm just saying he pulled himself out of the game. It worked in our favor, I guess. Whatever. Yeah, it's just a lot to unpack in this game. I'll go ahead and let you go first, my guy. But yeah, just a lot to unpack. Go for it.
I mean, for the Colts on the cool, 10 for 32 ain't pretty for sure for a $1.75. But going on to our side for the Texans, man, second week in a row that we have O-line problems for sure. And I mean, people have been talking about it for the last 2 days. If you're a Texan fan, you already know who we're going to mention. Kenyon Green. Oh, good old Atascocita, Kenyon Green. No diss to Atascocita, but yeah, I mean, he was outplayed in many snaps. I mean, you could just see it. Like it got to the point where I was looking at him when they snapped the ball to make sure he was winning his blocks because, I mean, all of us are getting tired of seeing CJ getting hit. And at the end of the day, we all know CJ's best performance is when he has time in the pocket and he's clean. So, it was a good move. I was happy with the move when they took him out and put in, sadly, I don't remember the guy's name. I don't.
Jarrett Patterson, who was in concussion protocol today. He definitely won't be available for the Jets game, but might be able to get him back for the Sunday night game against Detroit. Carry on.
So yeah, he came in, and I mean the ball we had got a touchdown. Joe Mixon got a rushing. I think it was a 15-yard rush. I mean, ended up with
grown man rushing touchdown. I might add, grown
yes,
man
sir.
moves.
Ended up with 102 yards that game. But sadly, at that time, Patterson also did get hurt and was out of the game, and they put Kenyon Green back in the game. And once he even after just watching that one drive, I mean, it still wasn't good for him. I guess at that time the Colts saw that was the weakest link of the line at that time. And after the game, they interview him, and like I'll say, like the Miko Ryans said it in his press conference today. The man understands what he didn't do right in that game. He's not a youngster. He's a professional. He knows that playing that kind of game is not going to help him in the long run, and it ain't going to help the team. So I mean, hopefully that little gotta get off the field for a minute gave him a little like humbleness. Like, okay, let me. Sometimes you just got to start over. Start from step one, bro, and get back to your blocking. But
Right.
I'm pretty sure he's going to be the starter left and guard. I don't see the Texans trying to do any kind of trades or anything like that.
I think they made that announcement today, if I'm not mistaken, that they are moving forward with him. D'Amico said we've won 6 games with Kenyon Green at left guard, so we're going to continue to stick with him. So that's basically what they said.
I mean, by the end of the day, bro, everybody has
Pretty sure that's the political answer, as in he got his ass chewed out all week long. We're gonna move forward with him, but he's
Right.
probably on a short leash. Like,
Yeah. So I
yeah,
mean, end of the day, bro, any good football player has a bad day. I mean,
yeah.
the only thing you can do is just learn from it
Learn
and
from it. Yeah.
move forward. We still got 8 games we need to play. So if you're the starting guard, hey, you're the starting guard.
Facts.
At the end of the day,
Facts.
we could put it all on him, but at the end of the day, the offensive line still didn't look too good.
At the end of the day, though, I mean, he still was pressured 57% of the time on his dropbacks. So, I mean, we're singling out Kenyon Green, but at the same time,
It's the whole line. Yeah.
it's the whole offensive line, you know.
Right.
So
You know,
without a doubt. Um,
and
you had
I'll let you
mentioned it
get on it.
before. You said what? Oh yeah, you mentioned before Joe Mixon, 102 yards. He had 25 carries, a buck two for a tutty. I mean, like I mentioned, that was a grown man touchdown. I mean, he could have easily have gone down, but he kept his feet, kept churning, kept moving, and got in the end zone. I think, well, coincidentally, what was hilarious about that play was I've seen it several times run back. Stephon Diggs was celebrating the touchdown before he even got in the end zone. He was like, "Yeah!" He wasn't even in the end zone yet. So it was. I think that was pretty hilarious. But all in all, I thought it was a really good, hard-fought game. You had mentioned it several times in this game because I was getting you saw me visibly getting frustrated because once again it was another week where the offense was struggling to put up points, struggling to get momentum, struggling to kind of get their feet going.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Self-inflicting wounds, as you'll say.
self-inflicting wounds, but bro, it is this fucking play calling by Bobby Slowick. That has been and you heard me all game long. I was overly critical of his play calling. He doesn't call plays in the flow of the offense. Like he'll be calling plays and then all of a sudden he'll bust out of nowhere on second down with an end around that results in like an 8-yard loss. And I'm like, what the hell are we doing? But you would even said it's just like, hey, it's second and goal and we're at the 10-yard line. Let's run a pitch play. Like that makes absolutely no sense. And then it was third and goal at like the 8-yard line. And his mindset is let's throw a wide receiver screen 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, which got instantly blown the hell up. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his play calling I understand you got to call plays based off of your personnel, but at the same time, it's like you got to call plays that make sense in the moment. And some of that shit didn't make sense in the moment. I think the only time that I was proud of Bobby Slowick in this game didn't result in anything but a punt. And it was at the end of the game when he actually ran the ball 3 straight times to force Indianapolis to burn their remaining 2 timeouts to where they couldn't get down the field to kick a game-tying field goal. I was actually proud of him in that. Everyone's like, oh, well, it was like way too conservative. No, he should have done that shit against Green Bay last week. Because if he does that against Green Bay last week, we're 7-1 versus 6-2.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, let me rephrase that. We are more likely to be 7-1 versus 6-2 because you don't know what's going to happen in that moment. But I know for a fact that if he had forced Green Bay to burn that last time out, it would have been much more difficult for them to get down the field, especially on the defense, which massive shout out to the defense. The defense came to play again. Once again, the offense didn't play great complementary football down the stretch in this game, leaving the defense having to be out on the field to handle their business. This is also a defense that was without Aziz Al-Shaair and Henry 2020, who were our starting linebackers to start the year. Aziz Al-Shaair out with the knee injury. Toto still in the concussion protocol. Good news is for the Texans, on the injury report, 2020 full participant at practice, Aziz Al-Shaair limited, but they're both practicing. That's good for us. In the meantime, massive shout out to Jake Hansen, who had some snaps, and WWE Henry Neville, or Neville Hewitt, I'm sorry. And then the recent signing for the Texans, Devin White. He got a lot of playing time in Sunday's game. So great showing by them, especially with Anthony Richardson being a running quarterback, being able to run. And then a massive shout out to the front seven or the defensive line. I remember you were critical at times about they're
Going too wide.
overextending or over widening the play, primarily Will Anderson, because every time they do it, it opens up a lane for Anthony Richardson, or when we played Lamar Jackson on Christmas Day this year, running quarterbacks that's going to be a field day for them, without a doubt. They got to get that unlocked, but I know that's also going to be helpful whenever you start getting your full complement of a defense back. And a huge shout out to our corners, man. Our primarily our coverage team. Yes, there were several dropped passes and overthrown passes by Anthony Richardson and their receiving core. He had 22 incompletions, 10 of 32. I mean, that's not a knock on the. You can't take credit away from the coverage team. Eric Murray right out of the gate was playing his ass off, and Kamari Lassiter had a couple of pass breakups. So, and then Jalen Petrie had the interception right there before halftime, which resulted in the touchdown to Tank Dell. So, there was definitely plays being made by the defense. So, I mean, to hold another quarterback to under 200 yards passing. I don't want to say another quarterback. I'm sorry. To hold a quarterback to under 200 yards passing is very difficult in this league, especially with how pass happy this league is. But to hold a team to what? Well, let me see here. Team stats. The Colts had 303 total yards. To hold a team to around 300 yards in an offensive happy league is insane. And I think Jonathan Taylor was their first 100 yard rusher in a couple of weeks. A couple of weeks, or did Josh Jacobs get that last week?
I don't think so. Maybe he did.
He might have, but I mean, it's just the defense is showing up to play. They have won the Texans at least 4 games this year. So huge shout out to the Texans, man. Penalties, that was a big thing at the beginning of the year for us. I'm glad to see they've kind of got that sort of squared away. There's still a few dumb things here and there. We had the illegal formation or illegal formation penalty that called back like a 10-yard or 15-yard gain or some shit. So It's just there's some dumb things here and there, but I mean for the most part, I mean they're cleaning it up. Thank God. I cracked the joke about everyone needed to take a shot because Laramie Tunsil had another false start, but it was just nice that it was his first. I know you did, you alcoholic. Hey yo, I ain't gonna lie. Whatever the hell we were drinking, that shit was smooth. I ain't gonna.
Casa de Oro. That's what it's called.
Is that what that was? That shit was smooth as hell. He wasn't lying, and when I was like, ooh yeah. Mm-hmm. This hitting right now. He had another false start. That's his 12th on the year, but it's been a couple of games since. So I don't want to say I'll let it slide, but at the same time, seeing as how he was just a false starting machine at the beginning of the year, one in the last couple of weeks. All right, cool. It's like a win in itself. So, but huge fought win. You had mentioned it. These division games, they're tough as hell.
They're not easy.
They're not easy. Even when they should be easy, they're really not. So it's, great. It was great to get the win. Great to get back in the win column. You got anything else you want to add before we move on, my brother?
2 things from this game. That's all I want to add. Oh, look, balloons. Nice. I didn't know that was going to happen. First, I want to give a shout out to I hope I don't say his name wrong. Adonai Mitchell from the Colts.
Adonai Mitchell, yeah.
Yes. We tailgated with his family members, so it was a Colts tailgate.
Oh yeah, it was fun, and it was fun as hell, man.
It was good. So I mean, I appreciate your family for giving us a good hospitality. Shout out to my neighbor in the barbecue. Amazing, Sean. You always do your thing. Other than that, I need to talk to the fans real quick, honestly, when it comes to this, because I mean,
this was a huge vocal point.
I bitched about this shit at least 4 times when we were at the tailgate with Steg here. I was not happy with how many empty seats were in that stadium, bro. We cried and cried that we wanted a winning team, and
now we got one.
We got open seats and field level. Nosebleeds, fine, I get it, whatever. but nose level, I mean field level. Like I looked at prices before we went. There wasn't that bad, at least for the nosebleeds. Maybe yeah, field. I get it. Some tickets are overly priced, but as fans, we ask for a winning team, and in a divisional game, we're not gonna show up. Are we just waiting for the big games to happen? Like guys, we need to be there all year round. We
So
can't be
what's
that
your
team. We can't be that fan base that we only come out when the big teams come to town. Like
I mean, and this, but
every
thing is though, this is technically a big team, a big game. My only
exactly.
question to you is, well, what about you and I? We're sitting out in the parking lot tailgating. Why weren't we in there?
I debated if I wanted to buy a ticket. Yeah, we were tailgating. I get that, but in the day,
Because you
if
already
I
know
was,
people are going to ask, well, what about you two sleps? Why weren't y'all in there acting like fools?
I mean, I don't know. I guess people now figured out that tailgating is the cheapest way to enjoy NRG. Like,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, look at it the way we try to go tailgating, and they wanted to see tickets
they
before
wanted to see
even
tickets
walk
and
through the
we couldn't
parking
even get
lot.
in, and we had to bullshit our ways to get. We had to bullshit our way to get in. So it's,
Hmm.
I mean, I get it, y'all. Tickets ain't cheap, and it's definitely an experience. I mean, you got to park. You got to, there's parking that you got to pay for. Then there's obviously the stuff going on at the stadium. But Moon's right. We finally got ourselves a winning team after we hadn't had one for 3 or 4 years. We got to go out and show out, man. We got to be the home field advantage. We can't wait for the Detroit Lions to come to town. We can't wait for Baltimore to be here on Christmas Day. Can't wait for. Actually, I think those are the last two big games of the schedule here at
Right,
home.
right, and
Can't
then
wait. Can't wait
so
for those games. We got to be out there acting like fucking fools for this team, man. These
yeah,
these guys are out there, putting their lives and their bodies on the line. Yeah, not only for themselves, but for us fans. So like CJ said last year, so we could walk around wearing this Texan swag with pride, bro. Come on now. They want us out here. We got to be out there to show them love. We got to be out there to pick them up. We got to be out there to cheer them on. You know, there was a couple of there was. I mean, I heard y'all getting loud at the end of the game because y'all, the fans in the stadium, caused the Colts to have a false start on their All-Pro right guard, if I'm not mistaken, Quentin Nelson.
yep,
So it's like
yep,
we got to be that home field advantage for them because you could best fucking believe these other games that we're gonna play, the gauntlet as I like to call it, at the end of the year. When we go to Kansas City, not only are they going to be fighting the elements, but they're going to be fighting the crowd because that crowd is going to be wild as hell. Don't matter how cold, snowing, raining, it don't matter what it is. They're gonna be fighting the crowd and the elements. We gotta be that element. We gotta be that crowd, that home field advantage for this team. Best believe if I was in a better place financially, I'd be at these games, man. I'd be like, hey yo, who wanna go? Let's go. I wanna go act like a damn fool.